NASCAR superstar to drive the car.
What gives you the right to come out here talking about a superstar? When you take this stupid glasses off, you'll see you ain't got no gold around your waist either. And as far as for you, Miss DNA, are you gonna grow up to be a man or a woman? Make your choice, brother. What's it gonna be? A man or a woman? Bruce in the ring. On the attack on Hermie Sadler, and Hermie Sadler's fighting him off. Oh, Jarrett looking from behind. From the back, B.G. James. Jarrett, down goes Bruce. Right hand for Jarrett.
Just helping out there. Jeff Jarrett, we ain't near being done. Remember the name, Jeff. It's BSE to the GSE, and the G stands for get it, got it, gosh.
After that heated situation, tonight we will see in a tag team grudge match, NASCAR's Hermie Sadler joining forces with B.G. James against Jeff Jarrett and Miss TNA Bruce. It was also last week when Chris and Rick Michaels came to the ring in a #1 contenders tag team matchup against Ron Harris and his newest tag partner, Sonny Siaki. Harris and Siaki totally in control of this matchup from the opening bell, totally dominating Chris and Rick Michaels. In fact, on several occasions, they had the opportunity to put the Michaels boys away and win the match. But in the end, it was further communication problems between Ron Harris and Sonny Siaki that allowed Chris and Rick Michaels to pull the upset victory, and tonight on NWA TNA, they get a title shot. And the X Division title will be on the line. It's the young and brash AJ Styles against the veteran, the pioneer of the X Division, X-Pac. Because in addition, in our main event, the Truth will defend the NWA Championship against Curt Hennig.
Well, you know the Truth has got revenge on his mind because Curt Hennig, he feels, stole one from him last week in the six-man match when Mr. Wrestling came out and interrupted. The Truth wants him, and he's giving him a title shot.
And Don, before we kick things off in the ring, let's send it backstage. Goldilocks is talking with Jorge Estrada. Goldie?
It looks like once again you are lonesome tonight. Everybody knows Sonny Siaki has officially checked out of the Heartbreak Hotel. And Jimmy Yang's busy working all of Japan, so tell me, pal, what's the dealio with the Flying Elvises? I'm sorry. Hey, are there any Flying Elvises anymore?
Hold on, Goldie. I don't want you getting caught up in a trap that you can't get yourself out of. Yeah, maybe the Flying Elvises have been all shook up a bit, but there's no need for you to get sweat on your blue suede shoes. Now, with that being said, I have two huge announcements to make. First, the King and Priscilla are an item in the tabloid sheets once again. Come here, baby. Come here, Stella.
Hello.
Second of all, I am holding a national search for a new Elvis. Tonight, at the NWA Asylum, I will have tryouts. And I will look for an individual, not with wrestling skills, but who can shake, rattle, and roll, just like the King himself.
Wow. So you're telling me that your wrestling doesn't matter. It's charisma, it's the vibe, it's the what? It's
Hey, Goldie, listen, I got a question for you. Where is April? Where's she at? I know you two are friends and you talk all the time. Where's she at?
Brian, I really don't know where April is. We don't...
Oh, shut the... Listen, if anything's going on, I'm holding you personally responsible. You got it? You understand?
Yes, thank you.
But as I was saying, before I was rudely interrupted, Goldie, I have a few men in mind, but they must prove to me that they have what it takes. They have the Elvis jive.
Elvis jive. Well...
The opening contest for NWA Total Non-Stop Action is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Atlanta, Georgia, David Young.
Don, I I don't want to jump to any conclusions here, but did you see what I saw during that interview? The locker room door.
And you know what? They were looking
Pac,
like they were caught like with deer in headlights.
And April?
I don't know. Six Pac walked out. Lawler's looking for April, and then April walks out when he walks away.
And his opponent, from Memphis, Tennessee, weighing in at 244 pounds, Brian Lawler.
Well, where is April?
He has not come out without April in the last 4 or 5 times out here. Here she comes.
Well, you know, this can't help Brian Lawler's already out of whack focus as it is.
I don't know what's going on there. Obviously, he's a little disappointed she wasn't at his side when he came out.
Yeah, and obviously Brian Lawler doesn't want to hear any excuses from April.
Well, she obviously had to go put her makeup on.
Oh, is that what they call it these days? Putting on the makeup.
Tell you what, she didn't want to come out looking upset. Well,
Brian Lawler upset? You're kidding.
Well, this volatile relationship is just getting out of hand.
You know, there have been so many accusations about, should we say, April's promiscuity?
Well,
is that a good way to put it?
That's a good way to put it, but we've also seen a lot of, what we've seen is a lot of verbal abuse from Brian Lawler.
Well, of course we don't have any proof, but why do I keep flashing back to that scene?
I don't know.
I mean, I know Jorge Estrada was being interviewed, and
they came out of the same room, my friend.
That's what I thought. Well, here we go, and let's see if Brian Lawler can direct his
Mike, I hope Brian doesn't put 2 and 2 together, because if he does, it could be ugly for somebody, and it could be David Young. Because we've seen him channel his anger.
Yeah, David Young, of course, recently returning to NWA TNA. Young has been wrestling all over the world, wrestling in Japan, now back here in the National Wrestling Alliance with total nonstop action. And similar situations here, if you think back to when David Young was a regular here on NWA TNA several months back. He had problems with Bobcat. Not quite as vocal and not quite as severe as we've seen here with Brian Lawler and his girlfriend April. But by getting rid of Bobcat, David Young has certainly improved his standing, certainly improved his concentration level in the ring as he shows here and connects with a drop kick right to Brian Lawler.
I was so impressed with David Young the last...
Whoa!
Oh, right! Right in front of April.
Hit the clothesline, and Brian Lawler lands in a very, lands right in April's lap, I guess is the best way to put it. I'm sorry, so when you have someone as unpredictable as Brian Lawler...
I was cocked and ready to run, buddy.
You know even better than I.
You better believe
the physical wrath of Brian Lawler in the past.
Well, I'll tell you what I was going to say about David Young earlier, and he's yelling for Lawler to get out there. What I wanted to say was, he looked so good in his return. I know he ended up losing to Siaki, but his return 2 weeks ago against Siaki, David Young looked fantastic. He's obviously...
Look at this quick roll up! No, only 2.
Obviously got himself dedicated, got himself focused when he got rid of Bobcat. We looked in the earlier weeks. Almost ruined his career, Mike.
The inverted atomic drop that time by the focused David Young. No, coming off the ropes. Lawler was prepared. Lawler caught him with the super kick that was right on the jaws. We take another look at April here at ringside sitting next to us.
Well, Lawler obviously has got more on his mind than just the match. He's letting the crowd get to him. He's letting his relationship situation, which I still haven't figured out. I mean, we don't have any proof, but we just saw 6 o'clock.
No, we
walk out of the same room.
Right. We don't have any proof, but something tells me rumors are going to be flying, much as they have been over the course of the past couple of weeks. Lawler able to go behind Young. And full Nelson front slam. Takes him down face first, drives him right into the canvas. But does Lawler go for the pin? No, he either loses that concentration level because he's keeping an eye on his girlfriend, or he lets the crowd get under his skin.
You know, he is one of the most talented wrestlers I've ever seen, but I've never seen anybody that can lose his focus so easily by the crowd or any other distraction, whether it be his girlfriend, April, you know, the referee, anybody. He could never put it all together and center, he'd be one of the best.
What a night we have in store for you here on NWA TNA. We talked earlier about the 3 championship matches. All the titles of the NWA will be at stake tonight. I can't wait to see Six-Pac, the new X Division champion, against the former X Division title holder, AJ Styles.
You know, I'm looking forward to seeing this TNA Bruce finally in the ring with a couple guys.
Yeah, it's going to be real interesting.
Competition there on him.
NASCAR's Hermie Sadler as well in a tag team grudge matchup, that yet to come, in addition to the NWA title match with Killings and Hennig plus Storm and Harris to defend the NWA tag belts against Rick and Chris Michaels.
I'll tell you what, David Young, another one of these great young stars who is trying to make a comeback here at NWA TNA and doing one heck of a job right now.
Definitely a veteran wrestler, David Young, 29 years of age. 13 years as a pro. He started when he was 16 and he just hit a DDT. Quickly Lawler to his feet and walked right into another one. Spiked him with another DDT. A groggy Lawler gets to his feet a third time and he spiked him a third time. The cover. 1, 2, and Lawler amazingly able to kick out.
Lawler has not been in this match from the start. David Young has dominated him right from the very beginning. And again, it's obvious Brian is not focused.
David Young, who of course loves to use the spinebuster as his favorite move. Influenced when he was a younger wrestler by Arn Anderson, his favorite move, and that time he went high risk, which we don't see that often from David Young, and maybe that's the reason why. Went for the moonsault, did not connect, and look at Lawler. Immediately again, leaves the ring. Oh, look at that.
Hands at the shade.
The goggles. It's time for Brian Lawler to fly.
Well, he's going to have to do something to get the momentum back in his favor. He might as well go for broke.
The goggles in place. This usually means the hip-hop drop off the top. That's what he went for. Telegraphed the move. Waited too long up on the top. David Young able to recover and move out of the way.
You know, you made a good point, Mike, a minute ago. And here he is doing it again, of David Young. Seen him go to the top rope. Something we've never seen from him. But that's what you've got to do in NWA TNA if you want to catch the eye of this group.
Did you see that? He was looking down here at April. It was just a lapse of concentration for David Young. Inverted DDT by Lawler. Legs hook, shoulders down. Done. And there's the 3 count.
The winner of the match, Brian Lawler.
Well, it was a mental lapse for David Young that opened the door for Brian Lawler. And he closed the door on David Young, and he scores the victory in our opening contest this week on NWA TNA.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you something, that's easy to do, and I hate to see that David Young did that, where he looked at April and lost his concentration, trying to impress her, obviously. She is a very beautiful woman, but you're in that ring to wrestle, Mike, and that's where you have got to be in your mindset. 100%.
Good outing for David Young up to the point where he had that mental lapse. You know, last week we had quite a serious situation involving Jerry Lynn. He was scheduled for that X Division ladder match against AJ Styles, and Sonny Siaki came out, interrupted him. A brawl started. It was quite a strange situation. Let's go back and see the history of Jerry Lynn and Sonny Siaki. That's Siaki! In the world of Sonny Siaki! Kicked off by Lynn! And AJ Styles is the X Division champion. But it was because of that huge assist from Sonny Siaki.
Sonny Siaki, if you were trying to push the right buttons to piss me off, well, you've been very successful.
Let's give the people what they want. If you want Sonny Siaki, Jerry Lynn, bring your ass up here right now.
Go! Again! Oh, Dr. Clothesline, and then speared him and took him down, and right, what a slugfest this is up on the entrance ramp. Oh! He just went head first, right into the steel, and Siaki got, oh my! He threw him off the stage right down into that steel guardrail. Oh, look at that!
Caught to the rail.
His leg went right through the steel guardrail, through the opening.
Oh my God, I have never seen this in all the time I've been here. There it goes out the parking lot. He's not coming back.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jerry Lynn.
Quite a serious situation from 7 days ago as we just witnessed. And we see Jerry Lynn obviously limping on his way to the ring. It was a little bit over a year ago when Jerry Lynn injured the patella tendon in his right knee. He was out for over 7 months. He had full-blown knee surgery, not just the scope. He's not booked to wrestle here tonight. He's obviously not cleared to wrestle, but he wanted to address the fans. Let's hear from the former X Division champ, Jerry Lynn. What a courageous showing this. I mean, just to make an appearance here at the TNA Asylum.
The hardest worker I have ever seen in my life. He has got guts.
Sonny, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I hold all responsibility for re-injuring my knee last week.
That's a man.
But next week, I won't take any responsibility for what I'm going to do to you.
Whoa, next week?
He'll be
here on
lucky if he can
NWA
wrestle
TNA.
next
You want to play? You want to get down and dirty? I've bought and sold punk-ass bitches like you for the last 14 years.
Whoa.
You think you're something new? I've heard your rap before. I've seen your rap before. And you know what? You're exactly what's wrong with this business today. You have earned absolutely nothing.
Look at the intensity in his eyes.
But you want everything on a silver platter. Well, I'll tell you what. You need someone like me for a reality check. And Sonny, that reality check is going to happen next week.
Oh, I can hardly wait, Mike.
Jerry Lynn speaking from his heart.
And when all is said and done, you will have a newfound respect for this business and for me. I promise you that.
Gonna have to beat the respect out of him, I'm afraid. I know that entrance music, it's Sonny Siaki's entrance music, and
here he
he does not disappoint.
I'll tell you what, these two, man, the hatred that they have for each other is unreal.
Hey, Goofy, you don't get it, do you? Sonny Siaki respects no one.
That's obvious.
You see, there's a difference between you and Sonny Siaki. Unlike you, Sonny Siaki won't be a mid-carder for 15 years. Sonny Siaki starts at the top. Sonny Siaki finishes at the top.
That was
Jerry
a cheap
Lynn.
shot.
Sonny Siaki is life.
Well, Sonny Siaki, after life comes death.
Oh my God! They're going to do it right here and now!
Siaki hits the ring and, oh look at this, no surprise, he goes right to that knee.
Siaki, if you want to take him on fair.
Now, this is the match that they talked about for next Wednesday, not tonight.
Oh, man, somebody get out here.
He's wrenching on that knee.
Come on.
Finally, we get some help from the back.
Ace Steel, Derek Wilde just came out. I'll tell you what.
Siaki just fights them off and goes right back to the attack.
You know, like I said earlier about Sonny Siaki, he's a snake, Mike. I mean, Jerry is already injured. He could have came out here and went toe-to-toe with him, but no. He has to go right for the injury.
And security as well. Look at Jerry Lynn.
I love it.
You can't stop Jerry Lynn.
He wants him bad.
Oh, you can just feel the tension between these two here in the TNA Asylum. Security forces, wrestlers from the back holding them apart. Lynn breaks through.
Look at that, he's back in. Oh, I love it, man. This guy has got more heart and more determination than anybody I've ever seen.
The guts, the courage, the fighting spirit of Jerry Lynn, and he broke through again.
I love it. You know what I love? He's doing the same thing to Sonny that Sonny did to him last week. Sonny's got a match coming up with Estrada. And Jerry's going to take some of that away from him also.
And now Estrada. I'm sorry, now Siaki, rather, is able to break apart from security.
Who else is in there? David Young, Norman Smiley.
The rest of the security referees as well. And now they take it down to the mat, and it looks like through the maze of wrestlers here, it looked like Jerry Lynn was able to land a couple of right hands.
I think I see a NWA official, Bullet Bob Armstrong,
And
Mike.
Bill Behrens as well.
This, I'll tell you what, next. Number one, it doesn't look like they can wait till next week, but can you imagine if Jerry's able to go, what that is going to be like?
Jorge Estrada in the ring as well. He's being restrained. He was trying to get at Siaki. And head of security, Don Harris, finally comes out here, put a little muscle into the situation.
You can count on one finger how many friends Siaki has, and that's one, and it's Sonny Siaki himself. Nobody. I mean, he was even trying to become a tag team partner with Ron Harris, and the two of them couldn't even do it.
All right. Don, earlier today I had a chance to sit down and chat with Sean Waltman. Let's hear his views on everything from the X Division to tonight's match against AJ Styles. Sean, as always, it's a real pleasure to chat with you. Great to have you here in NWA TNA. You know, I was doing some homework prior to tonight's event and looking back on your career and considering your X Division title match tonight against AJ Styles. I reflected back over a decade ago, the Global Wrestling Federation, the matches that you had with, of all people, Jerry Lynn, a very familiar name here in NWA TNA. And I guess to break it down in the easiest terms, you were X Division before the X Division was cool. Hell, you were X Division before there was an X Division.
Well, thanks, Mike. You know, and it is good. It's good to see you, and it's really good to be working with you again. You know, it's been a while. But you know, the X Division, you can call it what you want, okay? But what it is X for extreme, for X for, you know, a lot of reasons. It's exciting, you know. It's not just how big a guy is, because I mean, you've got Jerry Lynn, who has been a world heavyweight champion before, and he's also been the X Division champion. So what the X Division is to me is cream of the crop, pound for pound, of wrestlers in the world today.
Let's talk about your career history, the impact you've had on so many of the wrestling organizations. WCW as part of the NWO, the Outsiders with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. Great impact you had in the World Wrestling Federation as part of DX. I guess the question that I'm getting around to is, do you still think at this point in your career that you can achieve that level of success and that you can have that kind of impact that you had there here in NWA TNA?
It depends on exactly what impact you're talking about. I mean, the positive impact or the negative? I mean, because everybody knows my reputation as far as stirring up shit in the locker room or whatever, but some of it's deserved, some not. As far as the positive aspects of it, and you know, the way we changed wrestling, you know, we'll never be able to recreate DX or NWO, and that's not why I'm here, Mike. I'm here because the NWA is for professional wrestling fans, okay? I'm not a sports entertainer, okay? I'm a professional wrestler. And I've been a professional wrestler for 15 years. You can label it what you want, but it's still professional wrestling. That's why I'm here.
Sean, let's cut to the chase. Talk about tonight, the X Division title match against AJ Styles. Sort of a strange situation last week where you asked for the cameras to come to the locker room, the apology to Low Key, and we saw AJ Styles sticking his nose in that situation. What do you think about tonight? X Division title match in general, AJ Styles in particular.
Okay. As far as the thing with the Low Key, you know, I said some things about him. You know, that I really, I mean, it bothered me for a whole week. You know, that I said some things that I felt were disrespectful of the guy, and the guy is one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen. So I wanted to, you know, hey, I'm the first guy to admit, you know, when I do something wrong, because I've done plenty of wrong things. So I just wanted to do that in front of the people. And
AJ Styles
yeah,
tonight?
AJ Styles, you know, he comes in, he's trying to get his respect. I understand that. You know, I had to do the same thing. Well, he's going to get his chance to get his respect tonight. You know, and I'm not proud of how I won the X Division title. that's, you know, I didn't really win it. But
well, you were an opportunist. You took advantage of that opening.
And tonight, I'm going to prove that I am the X Division champion.
Yeah, that is your opportunity tonight. Sean, best of luck to you tonight, and best of luck here in NWA TNA.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much, man.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit and is a grudge match. About to make his way to the ring, weighing in at 249 pounds, Sonny Siaki.
Well, the problems between Sonny Siaki and the Flying Elvises finally came to a head some 3 weeks ago when Estrada told Siaki turn in his Elvis ring gear. Siaki responded by burning the jumpsuit in a trash can fire. 2 weeks back, we saw Siaki out to distract the Elvises. The tension between Siaki and Estrada has been building for well over a month. Tonight, Don, it'll settle the score.
Absolutely, Mike. It has been a long time coming.
And his opponent, being led to the ring by Priscilla. He is part of the Flying Elvises, and this is Jorge Estrada.
And here we go. Jorge Estrada going to jumpstart this matchup as we see Priscilla accompanying him to the ring.
The lovely Priscilla. Mike, do you think they're romantically involved?
Well, I know this much. I know that Priscilla is involved with the King. Other than that, I'm not too sure. Boot to the midsection by Estrada.
I'll leave it at that.
Ring! Oh, yes! Connect with the leg drop. Goes right for the cover. Not wasting not wasting a second of time, and he almost got the 3 count.
You know, I believe Sonny's just about bitten off more than he can chew. He's got enemies after enemies. Not to mention Jerry Lynn and him. This thing with Sonny Siaki and Jorge Estrada has been going on for 2 months, Mike.
Yeah, maybe this is a situation, as you mentioned earlier, where his focus is now split between Jorge Estrada and Jerry Lynn.
Oh, look it! Jorge came with his A-game tonight.
Goes for the moonsault, goes for the cover, and gets a 2 count from referee Armstrong.
He came with his A-game, buddy.
And Siaki, that time, outsmarted Estrada.
Oh! Right here in front of us.
Belly to belly. Up over the top, released suplex, and Estrada went crashing down here to the arena floor.
I'll tell you what, you can love Sonny Siaki or you can hate him, as most people do, but you cannot deny his talent and skill. But Jorge Estrada came in ready. Let's see if he can get back in there.
Yeah, Siaki immediately turns the advantage over, and out here on the floor, he has him in a pump handle. Where's he going to take him now? Picks him up. Oh! He took him directly overhead with that pump handle slam.
This is a grudge match. Like I said, Sonny Siaki, for those of you who may be new TNA fans, Siaki and Jorge Estrada were teammates. They were both Flying Elvises. And then Sonny Siaki disrespected the uniform, disrespected the man.
And think back to our first show, our first match on our first show. People were predicting such bright things for the 3-man team of the Flying Elvises. And I think that Estrada and Jimmy Yang did everything within their power to try and keep this team together. But the ego of Sonny Siaki forced his departure from the group.
Well, he has a great talent. He's got great ability. He just believes that he was the reason that the Flying Elvises were successful. And that wasn't the case. Yang and Estrada were incredible athletes.
Now went for the leg drop. He calls that the flip mode and did not connect. Again, think how both of these competitors know each other's moves.
That's right.
That's an advantage, well, I guess for both of them, who can vary their offense tonight.
I mean, Mike, I was just looking it up and going through the tapes. They've wrestled side by side as teammates close to 10 times.
So they know each other's moves. Which wrestler is going to be the one that can vary his offense? Come up with something new, something different.
Oh, beautiful move by Estrada. Oh, man.
Laid him out. Can Estrada follow up? Momentum clearly now back on his side. Can he go for the kill? Can he go for the pin?
I know we're not supposed to play favorites here, Mike, but I'd love to see Estrada just give Sonny Siaki a lesson in humility.
Yeah, it's tough not to play favorites when you have an egomaniac running around here like Siaki.
Estrada, I'll tell you what, like I said, he was funny. Normally, even before he didn't get started tonight, you get a chance to talk to a lot of wrestlers, and Jorge Estrada's always one that's open to talk. He wouldn't even talk to me. He was so focused, all he wanted to do was concentrate on this match.
And he's using that concentration level to hit the Hurricane Rana. Now going to take him up out of the fireman's carry and roll through.
Buddy!
Quickly springing off the rope. Back in with the moonsault for 1, for 2. Shoulder up by Siaki.
It's obvious the lovely Priscilla that's with Jorge has given him a new meaning out there. A new reason to show his stuff.
Certainly cheering on Estrada. Oh! That one stopped him in his tracks. Estrada springing off the ropes. And Siaki was prepared. He was ready. He was waiting for him. And he leveled him with a lariat.
When are people going to learn about...
Cover. 2. No.
When are people going to learn about Sonny Siaki in this respect? If you get a chance to take him out, you've got to do it because he has come back time and time again in so many matches.
Now Estrada stops him, drives him down to the canvas. I think that took something out of Jorge as well, and he's slow to make the cover.
Here it is.
Finally, as Priscilla looks on, hooks the leg, and another 2 count. Siaki able to get the shoulder roll.
Sonny actually rolling out of the ring right here.
Yeah, catch his breath. Good move on the part of Siaki. Referee Armstrong puts in the count. Siaki rolls out to the arena floor, clear his head, get his wind back, and look at the eyes of Estrada as we see him go up to the top here.
Here it is. Again, this is not just about Siaki just flung Priscilla right in the path.
She was able to move out of the way, but what happened to Estrada? He went right into the steel safety rail.
Man.
Back into the ring. Oh, he's got him now.
It did.
Put him away. He calls that move the Siakalypse, as in apocalypse. And it proves victorious for Sonny Siaki.
The winner of the match, Sonny Siaki.
Just when it appeared that Estrada had things his way, went flying off the top. He pulled Priscilla right in front. And we saw that Estrada crashed and burned out here on the safety rail. And from that point, it was easy. The Siakalypse, as he calls it, to put away Jorge Estrada.
That was right here in front of us. Wait a minute!
Oh!
That's Jerry Lynn!
Jerry Lynn from the back! Here we go again! And look at Jerry Lynn immediately following up. Series of right hands to the head, now rolls him back in. How is he able to do this?
I love it. So he's taking out a little revenge for Siaki playing on his knee. And while Siaki's down, Jerry's got to get him, Mike. Oh, this is some crunch.
And again, wrestlers, security, referees from the back all come out to the ring to try and break this up. Look at Lynn break through again.
Oh, man.
The second chapter tonight in this incredible rivalry, this heated grudge between these two. And again, Behrens and Armstrong, representing the NWA, are in the ring to try and separate them, and they can't. Siaki broke through that time.
Mike, this is absolute mayhem. They're back at it. These guys cannot even be held by 15 people out there.
Finally, head of security, Heavy D. Don Harris, again takes Siaki, rolls him out of the ring, trying to separate the two. And you can see that Lynn is still limping here in the corner directly above us.
He can put no weight on his right leg. Look at that, Mike. He just unbelievable. There he is, still hobbling back there.
Fighting through the pain. I'm not even sure that Jerry Lynn even cares at this point about that, the re-aggravation of that knee injury. What a matchup that's going to be, Don. 1 week from tonight, when Jerry Lynn goes one-on-one with Sonny Siaki. It's been a chore just to keep them separated out here tonight. What a wild start to this NWA TNA program.
I can hardly wait, and even though we got one of the greatest shows still planned, I can hardly wait till next week just to see that, Mike. Because it's finally going to come to a head.
Finally, we're going to get to see those two collide one-on-one next Wednesday on NWA TNA. Jerry Lynn looks like he's going to fight through any pain, any injury problems he's going to need to against someone the level of Sonny Siaki.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. About to make his way to the ring, weighing in at 210 pounds, Derek Wild.
26-year-old Derek Wild, a 6-year pro, known as the Danger Boy from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Trained for the ring by Whipper Watson Jr., whose father, Whipper Watson, was an NWA World Champ, as well as Dory Funk Jr., who was an NWA World Heavyweight title holder.
And his opponent, being led to the ring by Mortimer Plumtree. From Chicago, Illinois, this is Ace Steel.
29-year-old Ace Steel, a 10-year pro who studied under former NWA champ Harley Race, being led to the ring here by his new manager. We found out last week the association between Mortimer Plumtree and Ace Steel, as Plumtree told us he's going to do everything within his power to take over, to take command of the X Division here in NWA TNA, and he feels that in Ace Steel, he has the first piece to that puzzle, Don.
Well, you make a great point, Mike. In fact, Mortimer Plumtree almost came in last week and took the X Division title because Ace Steel was in it to the very end. He won the four-man matchup with Roy King and Mamaluke and Kid Cash, which is one of the most incredible matches I've ever seen. Of course, won it with the help of Mortimer Plumtree, I might add. And then got to go against AJ Styles and what, SATs and...
They opened up the locker room to everyone in the X Division ladder match, which was eventually won by Six-Pac, who makes his initial title defense later in this broadcast against the former X Division champ AJ Styles.
Derek Wilde, an exciting young talent, another man coming in here, impressed him enough to get an X Division match. Somebody, again, that wants to become a part of the most exciting division of wrestling.
Ace Steel tells me that his basic offense is no wasted movement. And obviously in this match, he's trying to ground the flying aspects of Derek Wilde, who just connected with the Hurricane Rana.
I'll tell you what, he's going to need everything he can, Mike. Ace Steel's got him in size. Ace Steel's got him in strength.
As well as experience, as we talked about earlier, and it doesn't hurt to have Plumtree at ringside in your corner as well.
Derek Wilde giving it everything he's got.
Nice series of deep arm drag takedowns.
You know, you made a good point there. Say what you will about Plumtree, but he has a very keen analytical mind.
And apparently a very big checkbook as well.
Absolutely.
Some of the money figures they were tossing around last week here about signing bonuses and the like.
Oh! Beautiful, beautiful. If he could have got that solid, he could have really put it into Steel.
Derek Wilde using his leg strength, his leg power, to flip Steel up and over the top while Plumtree directs traffic.
Yeah, Mortimer doesn't like to be embarrassed, that's for sure.
Derek Wilde snaps Steel over again out here on the floor. Some of those numbers they were talking about, I think, means that Mr. Plumtree and his family are very serious about their wishes to take over the NWA TNA X Division.
I heard close to $250,000 that he made it one offer to Low Key.
It was certainly the rumor that was floating around last week.
Caught.
Another one of those, high-risk moves that failed.
That's the strength of Ace Steel right there. I mean, he caught him like he's playing catch.
Sets Wilde up in a very precarious position in the corner. Absolutely nowhere here for Derek Wilde to go. And Ace Steel connects to the head. Oh! Vicious dropkick. You've noticed now the offense of Ace Steel has been directed at the head and the neck of his opponent, Derek Wilde. The forearm shots, following up with that tremendous dropkick in the corner.
Yeah, he has much more purpose in his moves this week than he did last. Obviously, Plumtree has worked with him and talked with him because he is definitely using more prowess. Oh, man!
Superplexed him back into the ring, did Steel.
Oh, I just love the X Division, Mike. Every Wednesday night, that is just a sample of what you get to see.
And remember, later tonight, X Division title at stake. Six-Pac, AJ Styles. What a great matchup that's going to be. So many questions to be answered in that. Oh, double underhook, and then just drives him down repeatedly, again working on the head and neck. Knee first, and this is his finishing move, the start of it. He starts him up in the gory special. He's going to try and move it into a neck breaker if he can just position Wilde around. He's got him in that gory, and there's the neck breaker. He calls that the twist of Cain.
Wilde did everything he could to fend it off, Mike.
Wilde in trouble. Referee down for the 3 count.
The winner of the match, Ace Steel.
Well, it looks like Plumtree has himself a winner, Mr. West.
Absolutely.
Mortimer Plumtree made promises to take over the X Division. Ace Steel is his recruit. Ace Steel is the man that is going to do his battle, his work. And Plumtree has a winner in Ace Steel, no question about that.
Just a little too much size and a little too much strength, Mike. Ace Steel had for Derek Wild.
Very impressive performance that's for Ace Steel. I'm going to remind you about the NWA and the big event that they have coming up in Corpus Christi, Texas. Big anniversary show. Coming up on Saturday, October the 26th, AJ Styles, Ron Killing, Jorge Estrada. I understand Conan is going to be on that card. All a big part of the NWA 54th anniversary show in Corpus Christi, Texas, as Bruce, Miss TNA, is headed to the ring.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. About to make his way into the ring, he is Miss TNA, Bruce.
Well, this is a tag team match that has lack of respect as its theme. We know that Miss TNA Bruce certainly questioned the athletic ability of NASCAR drivers, and especially Hermie Sadler, but Hermie's been very outspoken as well in reacting to those vocal comments from Bruce.
And his tag team partner from Music City, USA, weighing in at 243 pounds, Jeff Jarrett.
The tag team elements to this rivalry surfaced last week. First, Jeff Jarrett siding with Bruce, leading to a 2-on-1 attack on Hermie Sadler. B.G. James came out to even the score, not only to assist Sadler, but also to avenge Jarrett's backstage attack, if you'll recall, 1 week ago.
Always such an incredible mixed reaction when it comes to Jeff Jarrett.
And their opponents, first of all, B.G. James and NASCAR's Hermie Sadler, the driver of the number 43 Chevrolet car, sponsored by NWA TNA. Debuted last Saturday in the Little Trees 300 at Lowe's Motor Speedway in Charlotte, North Carolina. Back on the track 1 week from this Saturday, October 26th in Atlanta at the Motor Speedway in the Aaron's 312, and B.G. James has some words of wisdom.
Jarrett, She-Mail, Nashville, as well as the rest of the viewing audience, welcome to the Baby Boys Playpen.
That's the Asylum.
Now then, you boys have been heard saying that Hermie Sadler can neither drive nor wrestle.
That's what they said.
Hermie felt he was disrespected.
Well, I beg to differ. And we're here tonight to prove me right. You see, Jeff, I always wondered about you, but I'm sure about him.
Whoa! Took a little stab at Double J.
I'm going through you like a hot knife through butter. And he's going to drive right over you, homo.
Whoa. PG not missing words.
Remember the names. Squirmy Hermie and B-Z to the G-Z. And the G stands for get it, got it, good.
Well, tell you what, this rivalry between Jarrett and James has been going for a long time.
Opportunity up. Listen, BG, and especially you, Hermie, I was there this last weekend in Charlotte at the race.
Oh, no.
And yeah, it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, but I've got some good news for you. Matter of fact, congratulations are in order for you, Hermie, because some Hollywood bigwigs were at the race this week, and they're going to cast you in their next movie. And the name of the movie is The Last and the Furious.
Oh, man. Jeff taking a jab. Hermie feels he has just been totally disrespected.
Yeah, I talked about it earlier. That is the theme of this tag team grudge. That lack of respect that these competitors have for each other. And as you mentioned, the Jarrett and James rivalry goes back ages.
Oh, but wait, the sad thing was Hermie came on last week. I got to interview him in the ring. We were talking about the great opportunity of driving the NWTNA car, and then they just came right out and started taking shots at him, Mike.
Yeah, that's a shock from Bruce and Jeff Jarrett. Who would have expected such a thing? Well, the two wrestlers, I guess you would say, of this tag team match, although, you know, you certainly can't discount Bruce's wrestling ability when he puts his mind to it. Jeff Jarrett and B.G. James kick things off in this tag team contest.
I hope we get to see a little B.G. James on Miss TNA. Give him a little bit of what he's given some of the ladies in that division. But Jarrett's got control now. Oh!
Flying forearm smash by B.G. James right between the eyes of Jarrett. Gonna turn him around and, set him up for a drop kick. Directed to the back of the head. You see Jarrett's neck snap? Quick cover, quick hook of the legs, and a quick 2 count from referee Rudy Charles.
Tell you what, when 250 pounds hits you that hard, something can break.
Yeah, especially with the impact of coming off the ropes with that weight behind it.
All right, this is what we've been waiting for. Oh, man.
Explain that wrestling move to me.
I don't think it needs any explanation, Mike. I don't think it.
And here we go.
Hermie wants a piece of this.
This is what we wanted to see. NASCAR's Hermie Sadler.
But not the way Bruce wants.
In the ring with Miss TNA Bruce. Oh, come on.
Just taunting him.
Well, now we're in Bruce's element, if you really think about it.
True.
We're in the wrestling ring.
I hope B.G. James was giving Hermie some tips, because he's going to need every one of them.
Although we have seen Hermie here in the past.
Yes.
And he's done quite well in the ring.
Oh, he's got a talent.
Yeah, it's all about trying to embarrass him now. Back to the basics, the drop toe hold. And then he just paintbrushes Hermie Sadler.
Well, it has been total humiliation for Hermie out there right now. I'm sorry to say. I'm rooting for him, but...
Deep arm drag takedown that time by Miss TNA. As we mentioned, back to the basics in terms of offense. Grabs that side headlock. You know, I understand Hermie Sadler is going to be a featured guest this Sunday morning on the Fox Sports Network. Hip toss takeover by Sadler. Goes right back to the offensive. Grab the headlock and going to put the boots to Miss TNA.
I loved it.
Now, this Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, Fox Sports Network, NASCAR this morning. It'll be a big feature on Hermie Sadler upcoming this weekend. Now, Bruce puts on the brakes, but he doesn't have eyes in the back of his head, and now it's all B.G. James on Miss TNA.
Oh, man.
What do you think he sees there? You're speechless, Don.
I'm just telling you.
Reversal of the ropes, telegraphs the back body.
You know what? It's good to give Bruce some of his own medicine. You know what I mean? And that's what they're doing.
He likes the pump handle slam. Of course he would.
I mean, B.G. James, you got to do your homework. That's the last thing you want to do to Miss TNA.
But then he snaps right back into that wrestling mode.
Oh, he's a talented wrestler. Nobody will deny it.
Putting the boots to the back of B.G. James, and again, paintbrushing James.
We've seen Bruce earlier in TNA when his partner Lenny and him were doing tag team. They were great. Great combination. Jarrett now in the ring.
Yeah, turns things over to Jarrett.
See some real wrestling right now.
James able to reverse Jarrett.
Oh, beautiful.
Jeff caught him with the enziguri kick to the back of the head. Immediately for the cover. And immediately the 2 count.
Yeah, I understand Jeff Jarrett actually went to Charlotte to rub it in if Hermie did perform well, and obviously you saw him rub it in once he got here today.
Yeah, the Last and the Furious. Wow. Now Bruce taking the wind and taking the air away from B.G. James. Jarrett back on the offensive, fires him off, back first, sends him into that corner turnbuckle and turns things over to Miss TNA.
And what people got to realize, too, this isn't just between, Bruce and Hermie Sadler and Jeff and Hermie. This is really, a lot of this is between B.G. James and Jeff Jarrett. They have been after each other for the last solid month here at NWA TNA, and it's not been a love fest, I'll tell you that.
Shots to the top of the head from Bruce, applying the chin lock to James. Hermie Sadler has been in just at one point here in this tag team matchup. And I think this is smart strategy. Back to wrestling basics, cutting off the ring, especially when you're able to cut off the ring with the more experienced wrestler, B.G. James. Get him over to your side. Jarrett fires him off.
Because, I mean, let's face it, Hermie's best chance out here is to keep B.G. James in that ring, Mike. Not taking anything away from Hermie, but this is what they do.
All about right hands from B.G. James for both Jarrett and Bruce.
Oh!
Drops down with the knee for the cover. Two, broken up by Bruce. And here comes Hermie into the ring.
Well, he's got to defend his partner, Mike.
A couple of right-hand shots from Hermie Sadler. Reversed. Yes! Hermie Sadler just suplexed Bruce.
I love it.
Jarrett and James battling out on the floor. Actually up the entrance ramp.
Yes, Hermie is just letting his kicker go at it right now, and he's taking it to Bruce.
Wow!
Right.
What elevation! Hermie Sadler, the back body drop, hooks the leg. Two. No! Check this out. That's Brian Lawler, trash can in hand.
Trash can.
Up at the top of the entranceway.
Oh, right on B.G. James' head.
Just caught James right in the head with that trash can. Meanwhile, back in the ring, backdrop suplex by Bruce on Sadler.
You know, it seems like Jeff Jarrett gets lucky like that all the time. Somebody will come out and help him. Every time B.G. James is taking it to him, somebody comes out. Oh, right now Lawler is taking it to him.
And Lawler, B.G. James, Jeff Jarrett before security, and Don Harris comes out and round him again with the trash can. To Hermie. Back body drop again. Attempted the roll-up by Bruce.
You know what, Bruce?
Drop down. Two. He got him.
He got him.
Hermie Sadler did it.
So there's the match. B.G. James and Hermie Sadler. NASCAR's Hermie Sadler pins Miss TNA Bruce, and the team of B.G. James and Sadler get the win, but it looks like B.G. James is in trouble.
B.G. James is hurt. He got blindsided by Brian Lawler with the trash can. Again, the kind of thing you would expect Lawler to do. We've seen that so many times from Lawler and Jarrett.
But bottom line, Hermie Sadler did it. Put in the opportunity to take advantage of this situation, and he was able to score the pin over Miss TNA. Looks like there's some friction now between Jarrett and Bruce.
Jarrett's embarrassed. Him and the two wrestlers lost to a NASCAR driver, and B.G. James, and Jarrett is embarrassed.
Yeah, the hands on hips. You can see Jarrett is very frustrated, very upset with what just went down. And look at Bruce. He's thrilled just to put the tiara and sash on.
Jeff is just humiliated. And you know what? It does him good. Good to see it on him. What? Bruce trying to hug him.
And yet, obviously, Jarrett wants none of that. Oh!
I guess Bruce is just trying to get a little acceptance there, and that's not going to happen.
And there's the stroke. Jarrett punctuates things. That's sort of a split between these two tag team partners. Punctuates it with that exclamation point. The stroke to lay out Miss TNA. Now let's see some real TNA dancers. Ladies and gentlemen, we talked about the big event upcoming, the NWA 54th Anniversary Show. Corpus Christi, Texas will be the site. The Memorial Coliseum, the location for NWA Southwest promoter Ken Taylor. Saturday, October 26th is the date. AJ Styles, Ron the Truth Killings, Jorge Estrada, Conan, many others, all a part of that big anniversary show. You'll want to check it out. Saturday, October 26th in Corpus Christi, Texas. How about Hermie Sadler?
Oh, I love it. I just love seeing Bruce get a little of a sack. He's been dishing it out so long. We'll find out if he can take it.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. About to make his way to the ring. From Miami, weighing in at 239 pounds, Norman Smiley. The big wiggler is back. We saw him earlier trying to come out here with the wrestlers from the back to separate Jerry Lynn and Sonny Siaki. It's been ages since we've seen Norman Smiley on NWA TNA. And his opponent, weighing in at 288 pounds, Big Ron Harris.
Well, I guess we can conclude that the great tag team experiment has come to an end.
Well, it's obvious. Harris can't keep a tag team partner, Mike.
For the past 3 weeks, correct?
Ryan Lee, Ashley Hudson, Sonny Siaki. I guess the only thing he could do is just go one-on-one because, like you said, cannot keep a tag team partner.
All having miscommunication problems, errors, gaffes during a match that in every instance led to Harris's team losing.
You mentioned it's been a while since we've seen Norman Smiley. It's been since, I believe, week 5.
Yeah, you're right.
When the Truth, who at that time was known as K-Crush, almost choked him to death in the ring.
That was back in mid-July when he faced the then K-Crush, now the Truth, NWA champ, Ron Killings.
That's absolutely right. Haven't seen him since. And if it wasn't for Norman's wife coming in and rushing on the scene and saving him, we might not see him tonight.
Well, so far here in the opening minute of this matchup, Ron Harris has decided to use the advantages that he obviously has, size and power, and he's in control of this matchup.
Well, you know, being in control is a great way of putting it. Ron Harris finally feels like he's got to do it himself. He feels like every tag team partner he's had has let him down, so he feels like he's going to have to take total control on his own.
Yeah, but did you notice in every instance, whether Mr. Harris was at fault or his tag team partner, he always pointed the finger of blame at whoever his partner was.
You got to look in the mirror sometimes, Mike. You got to look in the mirror, and sometimes that's your answer.
Back to the fundamentals for Norman Smiley, trying to take the much larger Ron Harris down to the mat, get him down on the mat, make him the same size, and then you have an opportunity to use some of your moves on him.
Norman Smiley, the wily veteran.
Yeah, so accomplished in so many different styles of wrestling.
You know, I was getting ready to say, technically probably a smoother wrestler, but when you were almost 300 pounds of pure raw monster, you can get away with a lot, Mike.
You're right, Smiley is technically proficient. We saw that great move right there, the drop kick directed right at the knee of Ron Harris. And I don't think that Harris really cares much for Norman Smiley's big wiggle.
No.
I think that's pretty obvious.
He feels like he's trying to embarrass him out there.
Just brutalizing him at this point. Big shots with the right, and there's the big boot. That time it connected to his opponent and not his tag partner.
I'll tell you what, Ron is one guy that you do not want to be one-on-one with out there in the ring. He is a monster, Mike.
288 pounds. Tosses Smiley out to the floor, then follows up and then brings him right back into the ring.
I've never seen him even smile in victory.
Always has that game face on.
Yeah, chip on his shoulder. Something. Never satisfied.
Big elbow drop to the top of the head of Smiley. Smiley trying to use some kicks. Trying to take the big man's legs out. Sends him off into the ropes. That elbow was right to the chest and had zero effect.
It was like hitting a stone wall.
Springs off the ropes. Finally, the second clothesline.
He had to get some more momentum, I guess.
Was able to take big Ron Harris down. Yeah, just momentarily, though. Look how quickly he's up. Look at this. Going to try and wind him up. That's 288 that he just picked up. And send him down to the mat with a slam, and I think it maybe wore Norman out.
I mean, Harris won't have anybody to blame if Norman Smiley takes it to him in or not. Look at this. He's giving him the O.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the smartest move here against Ron Harris. Oh, that time the boot to the face was right on target.
Norman Smiley just trying to show him up a little bit there. Of course, that's what he does.
Right, it's part of Norman's game plan in most of his matches, but you might want to rethink things when you're going against big Ron Harris.
I mean, let's face it, Ron's got close to 40 pounds or 50 pounds on Smiley.
Easy. And sends him from corner to corner. Follows up that time with a clothesline in the corner. And Smiley is slow to get to his feet.
He may have went too far, Mike.
Got him up for the side slam. And drives him down mid-ring. Cover. 2. Smiley with the shoulder up. And you can see that Ron Harris is not happy with the cadence of the count from referee Scott Armstrong.
Again, Ron Harris will have nobody to blame but himself for this match if he doesn't pull it off.
Drove him down to the mat. Cobra slam 2 and 3.
Well, the winner of the match, big Ron Harris.
Yeah, that was quite a vicious attack that time from Ron Harris before finally putting away Norman Smiley.
Now, wait a minute, what's Ron doing? Ron, you won the match.
Yeah,
you won the match.
You know, I just had this feeling as I was watching the match that Ron Harris was upset at Norman's actions. Look at Norman trying to fight back with forearms.
What in the world?
Went for a discus right hand to send him down.
I've never seen this kind of fire out of Smiley.
You know, you're right. This is a side of Norman Smiley that we haven't seen.
He's screaming, man, like a wild man. Choking him. Harris is getting some of his own medicine right here.
Having flashbacks to when Smiley was the hardcore champ in WCW, and here comes Heavy D, Don Harris. You know, we saw this last week. Don Harris immediately taking the opponent of his brother and tossing him out of the ring. Uh-oh.
You know, I cannot figure out whether blood's thicker than water or the other way around.
Well, Don is here for Law and Order. And there they are, nose to nose, mid-ring.
Heavy D and Ron Harris right there, face to face. And they're not telling each other I love you. I'll tell you that.
Well, head of security Don Harris is usually required to come out here and throw his weight around. And he just went nose to nose with brother Ron. There's something more to that story, too, than I think that we really know.
Absolutely.
I want to remind you about a big doubleheader event for NWA Wildside. Two-night event, Friday and Saturday. November 1st and 2nd, back-to-back nights. Bright Nights 2002 in Cornelia, Georgia at the NWA Arena. 16 teams entered in an invitational tag team tournament, including several teams seen on NWA TNA broadcast. We also understand that the former NWA World Champion Dory Funk Jr. will be not only making an appearance, but will be wrestling as part of a tag team in that invitational tag team tournament. 8 p.m. bell time both nights. NWA Wildside coming to Cornelia.
The following contest is for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. About to make their way to the ring, the challengers, at a combined weight of 442 pounds, Chris and Rick Michaels.
For Rick and Chris Michaels, it was a case of being in the right place at the right time. Last Wednesday, they were being totally dominated in that #1 contenders match by Brian Lee and Sonny Siaki. Lee accidentally kicked Siaki. They took advantage of the air. They scored the upset win. Tonight, they find themselves challenging for the NWA World Tag Team title.
And their opponents, they are the current reigning and defending NWA World Tag Team Champions. They are the team of Wildcats, Chris Harris, and Cowboy James Storm.
Got the six-shooters out.
There they go.
Not only are they the reigning NWA World Tag Champs, as our ring announcer Jeremy Boras just announced, but James Storm and Chris Harris remain unbeaten on NWA TNA program. They captured the tag titles. Back on September the 18th, they won the tag team gauntlet for the gold. Since that time, they've strung together 3 successful title defenses.
You know, we were talking earlier, and I looked it up, and I almost dead positive about this. In the history of NWA TNA, any person, whether they're singles matches or doubles matches, has had a minimum of 3 matches.
Right.
Harris and Storm are the only undefeated members in NWA TNA.
That really talks about the competitive nature of the matches here in the NWA total non-stop action program. And the NWA Tag Team titles are on the line. The first of 3 NWA Championship matches for you tonight in this exclusive pay-per-view broadcasting. James Storm, the Tennessee Cowboy, puts the shoulder to Rick Michaels off the ropes. Right, caught him that time with the boot to the midsection, sends him off to the corner. Storm just flowed over.
Michaels are lucky to be here. It was a surprise upset they pulled on Harris and Siaki last week, but you've got to give them the credit. They were opportunistic. When they saw the opportunity, they took it. And that's why they're here. And that's why Storm and Harris are going to have to stay completely focused on these guys.
In terms of in-ring experience, Chris Michaels in the ring now against James Storm and Rick Michaels are much more experienced than the tag team champions Storm and Harris. Chris Michaels wrestling for 14 years, 11 years for Rick Michaels.
All right.
Look at that, James Storm. Elevated by his own tag partner, the Wildcat Chris Harris, and he just went crashing in to both of the Michaels boys on the floor, and to answer your question, they are not related.
I'll tell you, all right. Harris coming out doing the same thing. I'll tell you something. They have been doing it every single week. Let's see a replay of this, Mike.
Oh, yeah, it deserves definitely another look. I don't know if we have that replay ready or not. Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. There's Wildcat.
Yeah, slingshot into the cross-body block, taking down both Rick and Chris Michaels. Back to the live action.
I'll tell you what, each week, Harris and Storm get more and more respect. They can no longer be called the Rodney Dangerfields of tag team wrestling.
That's true.
Because they beat anybody and everybody they face.
Yeah, it really is tough to argue with perfection.
Oh,
yeah, Rick Michaels, yeah.
Well, that's the experience.
Able to take Storm out of the contest. Storm in the ring with Chris Michaels. The Rick takes him out, sends him into the safety rail, then rolls him back into the ring, and little double team tactics here by Michaels and Michaels.
Nobody says it's got to be pretty, Mike. You just got to go home with the belt.
Yeah, nobody said they just said be effective and do the job off the leg drop. Quick cover and a 2 count now for Rick Michaels. Fires in that left hand right to the face. Across the bridge of the nose, I think.
I found out that these two, Storm and Rick Michaels, have faced each other in many other venues many times.
Yeah, quite a history between these two. Certainly a familiarity factor, I think, in this tag match that Storm and Harris have not had in previous weeks, like the match against the SATs last week. First time they had ever faced them. Cross body.
Here it is.
1, 2.
Oh, man. Great kick by Chris Michaels.
And he goes for the cover and gets a 2 count.
Just absolutely incredible out here. Harris and Storm were technically great against the SATs. That was the type of a matchup, to me, that could have really caused some problems. And they were able to counter everything and come out on top.
Now let's see if they're as successful this week against the much larger, much more experienced tag team of Rick and Chris Michaels. Michaels on the offensive, putting the boots to Storm. I think Storm's been in the ring long enough that he might consider a tag for the fresh man, Wildcat Harris.
Oh,
look at that.
buddy!
Digs down deep, hits the Hurricane Rana, and now going to try and get his way to the corner, get in the tag to Wildcat Harris, and...
Oh, Chris Michaels just came in. Oh, beautiful! Beautiful kick to the head.
Clocked him with the ends of gearing.
Champion, Mike. That's why, oh, yes.
Inverted atomic drop by Harris. Brings off the ropes. Left arm lariat takes down Rick Michaels, but Chris Michaels from behind, cutting with the double axe.
I'll tell you, sometimes those two are absolutely in total sync. Right, there's another one.
The southpaw hit the clothesline.
Think about that. In the history of NWA TNA, they're undefeated.
Drives him down face first to the mat. Harris to the top.
I think I've counted where they've had like 13 in a row undefeated.
Cross body, 2. Oh, broken up. Rick Michaels able to connect with the elbow to the back of the head of Chris Harris, stopping the pin attempt. All 4 men in the ring.
Mike. Oh, beautiful.
Moving out to the floor.
Storm.
Meanwhile, in the ring, Storm connects on Rick Michaels. The referee's being distracted.
He's got him right there. Referee Andy Thomas has got to look over. Storm has him.
And now Andrew Thomas, still with his attention on Chris Harris, out on the floor. Oh, off the top. Chris Michaels hit the leg drop. Oh, no. He rolls him over. He put his partner on top. Rick Michaels, 1, 2. No, only 2.
Oh, I thought it was over, Mike. I thought we were looking at 2 new champions.
James Storm, able to dig down deep, avoid the pin. Chris Harris back in the ring. Series of lefts to the head of Rick Michaels. Now Chris Michaels has Harris in trouble.
It's obvious that Michaels and Michaels have got a lot of experience. Oh, right here in front of the table. Oh, Wildcat Harris gave him a blow. Oh, reminded me of Dope Frazier.
Back, check this out. 1, 2. No, kick out. Only 2. Both teams on the verge of victory. Here in the last minute of this matchup, it's just been incredible action.
2 experienced teams. I'll tell you what. Oh, right on the rail.
James Storm on the top. Chris Michaels caught him with a right hand. Sent him out to the floor. Back in the ring. Rick Michaels telegraphed the back body drop. Wildcat Harris missed the clothesline. Drops down. Double shot. There it is. Neck breaker, face breaker combination. Big leg drop off the top. Michaels cover. 1, 2.
Oh,
Kick out.
He fought it off. That is twice it's been stolen from Michaels and Michaels Mike.
On 2 occasions, you're right. We thought they had the tag belt won.
Beautiful move there by Storm. He's got both of them. Rick Michaels out of the ring. Here he goes.
Catatonic! Number 1, 2. You keep the belt.
The winners of the match, and still NWA World Tag Team Champions, Wildcat Chris Harris and Cowboy James Storm.
Can you believe it?
It was a hell of an effort by Rick Michaels and Chris Michaels. But in the end, the Catatonic did it.
What's going on?
That's a hot shot.
Hot shot. Cassidy O'Reilly.
Chase Davis just hit the ring.
What is going on out here?
The tag champs just going through a tough match with Rick and Chris Michaels. And then Hot Shots just hit the ring. And now here comes Michaels, and Michaels back in. And it's 4 on 2.
You know, that's what we're talking about the disrespect that they're getting. And it's now become a matter of jealousy, obviously. Everybody is so frustrated, all the tag teams, because they can't beat Storm.
Yeah, because they don't have the tag belt like Chris Harris and James Storm have.
That's exactly right. And no matter how cool that looks out there, Harris and Storm are still taking the belts with them.
And they're still undefeated.
You know, and that is just the way it is. Everybody are starting to resent the fact that nobody can beat these guys.
NWA referees have come from the back to try and get Michaels and the Hot Shots away from the ring area. They certainly don't look like World Tag Team Champions at this point.
Of course, the Hot Shots earlier in NWA TNA cost Harris and Storm a chance at a tag team title, and they had to wait like 5 or 6 weeks before they got the title.
Yeah, there's definitely a history between these teams. You're right. And here we go again.
Oh,
I thought the officials had them out of the ring.
We've got 3 reps in there. We're going to need some security again. This is just... Harrison Storm is getting mutilated in the ring right now.
The frustration of Chris and Rick Michaels as well, because they were so close to the victory.
Twice! They had him twice! It's over!
Super kick, DDT, layout, Storm and Harris again, and again we get security from the back. Put that belt down, Michaels. You didn't earn it.
That's exactly right. I'll tell you what, they're even going after security right here. Stevens and Cascarani, we haven't seen them for a few weeks. They're not even on the card. They came out of nowhere.
And they continue to assault the tag champs.
Harris and Storm are badly beaten in the ring. You know, it goes with the territory, I guess, Mike.
Yeah, you have the tag titles, you have that bullseye on your back.
And chest, and legs, and head, and everywhere else on their body.
Again, as we mentioned, they don't look like the World Tag Team Champions, but Wildcat Chris Harris and the Tennessee Cowboys James Storm were victorious over Rick and Chris Michaels. A tremendous matchup that was before the Hot Shots came out here.
One of the most beautiful catatonics I've ever seen Wildcat Harris do. That was one that you knew it was over as soon as he did it, Mike. I hope they're okay.
Officials trying to get them to their feet, trying to get them to the back. You know what's next? The X Division title matchup.
It is here. It is here.
Yeah, this is what we've been waiting for.
AJ Styles and Six-Pac, Mike.
A lot of people question the way that Six-Pac won that title belt last week. I look at it as being an opportunist, taking advantage of that opening. He pulled that belt down. He's the X Division champ, and he's going to put it on the line against AJ Styles.
The following contest is for the NWA TNA X Division title. About to make his way to the ring, from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds,
Is that Plumtree? Yeah. I mean, as soon as I saw Plumtree come out, I thought maybe Ace Steel was coming out with him.
Now, he said he was going to try to take over the X Division.
No.
No way, is he?
You don't think.
I guess there is no price that somebody won't go for.
The Plumtree family's checkbook may have struck again.
Think about it, Mike. He's already got Ace Steel. Now he's got AJ Styles. He made the claim that he would take the, in a short time, he's taking him to try to take over the X Division. In 2 weeks, he's got two of the back.
And look how proud Plumtree looks at his accomplishment, if you can consider writing a check an accomplishment.
And his opponent, he is the current reigning and defending X Division champion of the world from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Six-Pac.
His first national exposure over 10 years ago on ESPN's coverage of global wrestling when he was known as the Lightning Kid. It ushered in the era of the lighter weight competitors to the American wrestling scene. Series of matchups we talked earlier about with Jerry Lynn, yes, that same Jerry Lynn over a decade ago, opened the eyes of wrestling promoters and wrestling fans alike. They proved that light heavyweights, as they were known in those days, belonged in U.S. wrestling. Six-Pac was definitely a trendsetter. And if you think about through the years, the Brian Pillmans and Jushin Ligers establishing the quicker pace, high-risk offense in WCW that later flourished as the cruiserweight division, bringing in the likes of a Rey Mysterio and an Ultimo Dragon. Well, the style has reinvented itself again, and it was in June of this year when the NWA TNA introduced the X Division. And if you think about it, AJ Styles, much like his opponent tonight, Six-Pac, some 10 years earlier was known as a trendsetter. But if you think of how Styles, Lynn, and Low Ki have revolutionized pro wrestling again, I think you have to say that Styles is a trendsetter as well.
Mike, I still can't get over the fact that AJ Styles is with the Mortimer Plumtree. I mean, AJ has such an ego. I mean, what did Plumtree offer him to get him to team up with him? That is just the question in my mind. AJ is one person I never thought would have went over to Plumtree's side.
A six-figure bonus for starters. And here we go.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say, consider the importance of this match to these two men. Look at it as sort of a proving ground for both wrestlers. On the one hand, Styles is meeting arguably the most established big-name opponent of his career in Six-Pac. This is the biggest match of AJ Styles' 4-year career, in my opinion. On the other hand, Six-Pac, in my mind, is almost at a career crossroads. Primarily, he's been a tag team wrestler the past few years. And this is not only his first high-profile singles match here on NWA TNA, it's his first high-profile singles match, period, in quite a while. I think one of the questions we're going to answer is Six-Pac still as good as he once was?
Well, he's going to have to be because AJ Styles is one of the best in the world right now, period, in the story. And even though AJ has done a lot of things that's confused me here as an announcer watching, and I know you said Six-Pac was being opportunistic, I felt like AJ was robbed last week after that incredible X Division ladder match. And to have it taken away, Six-Pac didn't break any rules, but I felt like he stole it from AJ, so you know he's going to have a little revenge on his mind, Mike.
And if you heard that interview earlier that I conducted with Six Pac, it's almost as if, to a certain point, he agreed with what you just said.
Well, I think he realized the public probably feels that way. Maybe he was just saying what he thought everybody wanted to hear, Mike.
Sort of a feeling out process. Both men very tentative here in the opening minute of this matchup.
I'll tell you one thing. Six Pac's going to have to do this match his way. If he tries to do it the AJ Styles way and tries to compete in the same type of form that AJ has, it would be a mistake in my mind, Mike.
You know, think of how Styles was at such a disadvantage last Wednesday. He was mentally prepared to face his top rival, Jerry Lynn, one-on-one in a ladder match. Of course, we all know about the injury to Jerry Lynn's right knee at the hands of Sonny Siaki that precluded that from happening. And before you know it, Styles is fighting against 5 hungry X-Division wrestlers for the belt.
I'll tell you what, the crowd has been waiting in anticipation for this, and they're getting ready to lock horns. And here in a minute, you just can feel the tension. It is going to explode in that ring, Mike.
Styles with the side headlock, neutralizing his opponent in the middle of the ring. Trying to wear him down. Beautiful reversal.
AJ doesn't seem to be intimidated by the 15 years of experience of Six Pac, that's for sure.
Exchange of hammer locks to float over, and there you see the experience of Six Pac. Little one-upsmanship as well from the X-Division champion.
Obviously trying to get in AJ's head. You know, that's where the experience comes in. He's trying to get in AJ's head, knowing that if he can take him off his game, it's that much easier for the victory.
And again, they lock it up, collar and elbow. Advantage to Styles. Pushing Six Pac up against the ring ropes. Oh! Wondered when the first cheap shot was going to come, and not surprisingly from Styles.
Six Pac trying to give it right back.
Oh! Excellent shoulder block by Styles. Able to float over. Stopped him. Caught him. Whoa! Nice flip over. Snapped off the Hurricane Rana, did AJ Styles.
I'll tell you what, I had no idea who was going to end up getting the advantage on that. It was like, it kept just crazy.
And I think that may have been the wake-up call for Six Pac. Series of knife-edge chops, follows up with kicks, jumping back kick that time, was right on target, cut him right in the chest. Now he's going to stake that leg across and, whoa, I think he was getting ready to bust the Bronco.
Mortimer Plumtree pulls AJ out of the ring, saving him the humiliation of the Bronco Buster.
Now we need to get to the bottom of this story as far as whatever this association is.
You had no end of this at all.
Are you kidding?
Okay. So it is a shock.
I mean, we're only presuming at this point, just judging by coming out with Styles. I'd love to hear more about this new association.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Think of it, though. He said he was going to take over the X Division.
AJ Styles is one of the members of that division that I'd want on my side.
Pretty good.
Former champion.
Pretty good place to start.
It should have been the champion last week in my mind.
And how many times have we talked about that? Sure, you can label him a former champion, but in how many instances have technicalities caused him to lose the belt? Has he been pinned? Has he submitted in a title match?
How many times has he ever lost one-on-one?
Very few here in NWA TNA. Next might be the first.
That's right. Oh, it's going to happen right here.
You sense
they're one-on-one.
Frustration. You sense frustration on the part of AJ Styles, but at the same time, it's almost as if you can sense that Plumtree has been in his head, that they've been working on a strategy here to combat what they think the Six Pac is going to bring to the ring.
Good point, Mike. I really wonder how long him and Plumtree have had a chance, because nobody saw this coming. How long have they had a chance to work out a strategy? I mean, right now, AJ maybe looks totally off his game to me. It's just not the AJ Styles that we have seen come in and dominate the ring, Mike.
Open hand slap by Six Pac to the chest of Styles. Excellent reversal by Styles. Send him off into the corner turnbuckles. Charges in. Six Pac able to elevate him up and over the... Oh! Drop down by... Oh,
man.
The sudden stop.
If you're going to flip him over the ring, you better make sure he went all the way out.
And Six Pac meets the steel.
He's going because AJ didn't. He caught himself on the apron and just, ooh.
Back into the ring. 1, 2, and kick out that time by the champ. Almost as if Styles still at this point in the match is being a little tentative.
Kind of trying to feel him out.
Doesn't really want to open up his full offense here to the veteran Six-Pac.
And I know Six-Pac is a great veteran. He's seen a lot of things, but has he seen anybody with the moves of an AJ Styles in the ring?
That's a great point. It really is. When you think about that familiarity, it goes both ways with these competitors. Oh, now look at this! Oh. Plumtree's going to get physically involved, of all things.
Rudy, referee has got to get over there and look.
I am taking
Plumtree, I tell you what.
With me.
Cover. 2. No. Shoulder up.
Oh, I'm glad to see that. I hate to see anybody move that way. Plumtree, though. The wily sensei, kind of, is what I like to call him.
He's the manager, I guess. I mean, I want to hear officially what the story is from Styles or Plumtree. Certainly representing AJ Styles and certainly not afraid to get physically involved here in this X Division title matchup against the X Division champ Six-Pac.
Submission hold by Styles, trying to wear down Six-Pac.
Repeated shots with the elbows to the midsection.
Now that'll give you a headache for a long time.
Styles just put on the brakes for Six-Pac, grabbing him by the hair, driving him down to the mat.
Crowd, of course, definitely behind Six-Pac here in this match. I'm kind of surprised. I thought after last week they might feel the same way I do about it, but Mike, I guess they feel like any way you can get the belts, the way you got to do it. Oh, AJ is taking over the match, Mike.
Six-Pac just went airborne, and check out Plumtree. More cheap shots.
Goodness gracious, somebody.
You just see the velocity, the speed as he fired him directly through the ring ropes and not only out to the floor, but right into the steel.
There he goes. Oh, man, is that unreal? That is unbelievable.
Sensational flip dive.
Let's see that again. Look at that contact. Right in the face.
Why would someone with this kind of talent need to have Plumtree involved?
Oh, I don't know. Plumtree's obviously stole him somehow.
Yeah, some kind of a bill of goods. Back in the ring.
Did he get it?
No. 2 count. You can see the fire in the face of Sean Waltman, Six-Pac. Fans are firmly behind him, but immediately Styles goes right back to neutralize him and to stop any kind of offense that he can try and get on track.
Six-Pac has got to be getting frustrated, Mike, because every time something happens, Plumtree is attacking him from the blind side illegally, and the referee is not paying attention. Oh, he's got to be getting frustrated out there.
All it really does, the interference on the part of Plumtree, is open the door for AJ Styles to hit phenomenal moves, and he just did.
I'll tell you what, when you're going up against somebody like AJ Styles, you don't need any other distraction. You've got to zoom in on him, and that's it.
Again, back up to that vertical base. Back up to his feet is Six-Pac. Shoots off those elbows, but look at him stop him right in his tracks. Whoa! Leg drop to the back of the head.
He's pulling all the weapons out of the arsenal now, Mike.
Doesn't go for the pin. I'm kind of surprised at that juncture of the match that he didn't try and pin him. He's got something else in mind. You see that he positions him closer to the corner.
Here he is on the top rope. Here, what's coming up? Oh, my God! Oh!
Twisting move off the top. Spiral tap attempt did not connect.
You know, I have never seen a spiral tap miss, and I can see how that can totally take it out of AJ. Oh, it's such a beautiful, whoa, man.
Spinning heel kick was right on target. Turned him inside out with the kick.
You know, if AJ would have connected, Mike, it'd have been over. Oh, another one again. And that's why if you're going to do the high-risk move, you've got to succeed, because the momentum is now in the hands of Sean Waltman. Six-Pac right now.
Off the top, Styles, amazingly, was prepared. He was ready for it. And he answered. He countered with a drop kick, too. No, just that close to a new X Division champion. but Six Pac was able to kick out.
Unbelievable match right there. Oh, wait a minute.
Charged into the corner. The veteran, exactly. Able to get the feet up, able to get his legs up. And send Styles up and over the top down to the floor. Now what?
Oh, man. This is now just become a, let's get it on.
We talked about him being one of the pioneers of the lighter weight wrestlers. He's the one that laid the groundwork for the AJ Styleses, the low keys. And this is why, Don.
Look at this. Look how he turned his body so that it was just the back of him hit AJ Styles solidly and knocked him back. Oh, I love that.
Now Six Pac turns his full attention to Styles back in the ring.
Hey, say what you want about him stealing that
Northern Lights at the bridge. No.
Oh, man.
So close that time.
I'll tell you what, Six Pac has definitely earned my respect in that ring today.
Both went for kicks. That kick connected out of the corner by Styles. Oh, went to the discus lariat, and the clothesline knocked down the referee. Boot to the face. Now reverse. Styles going to take him up. Float over. Six Pac. Drags him down with the factor for the cover.
Here it is.
Referee's out.
Got him.
Plumtree in the ring. No. And now it's time for Six Pac to exact a little revenge on Mortimer Plumtree. Referee Rudy Charles. Well, he didn't see Plumtree. What do you think Plumtree's in the ring for?
They've got to make something there.
Exchange of punches.
Six Pac had him. It was over.
Desperation chops by Six Pac. Repeated boots to the chest of Styles. Even pulling out a headbutt in the corner. And now it's time for the Bronco Buster.
He just went right to the fist of the face, Mike.
Combination Bronco Buster and repeated right hands to the top of the head. He just pushed the referee away. Gonna have to keep his cool here. Rudy Charles is calling for the bell.
What's going on, Mike?
Six Pac pushed the referee away.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Rudy Charles has disqualified Six Pac.
Whoa! And he just nailed him. Down goes Rudy Charles. Six Pac disqualified.
Well, I can understand his frustration, Mike. He had the match in hand. He had AJ pinned, but the referee was over dealing with Mortimer Plumtree, which is just what Mortimer Plumtree wanted. Security coming in.
Right, the title belt remains with Six Pac. He turns his attention to Plumtree, who of course fails. And surprisingly, since Six Pac was being held by security, I figured he'd take a cheap shot.
I'll tell you what, Mortimer took enough cheap shots in that match. That's the whole damn thing. He's getting the whole way. You know, it's one of those where you can just feel the kettle is going to blow. I'm telling you. Every time there was 1-on-2 out there in that ring. And he probably felt that the referee was against him too. I mean, every time he had something going on, the referee was nowhere to be found.
NWA rep Bill Behrens out to try and get them to the back. Well, bottom line, Six Pac remains NWA X Division champion as a result of the disqualification. AJ Styles gets the win, but Six Pac keeps the belt. NWA TNA Girls Dance. Don West preparing to tell you what's going to go down next week here on NWA TNA.
All right, everybody, don't forget the main event is still coming up. Kurt Hennig against the Truth. But next week, we are finally going to see Siaki and Jerry Lynn get it on in this ring. We will also see B.G. James and Brian Lawler. Harris and Storm are going to defend their title. And you'll also see Jarrett and the Truth and Six Pac and Hennig and AJ Styles. So So you don't want to miss it, Mike.
You don't want to miss that. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier today, I had the opportunity to conduct a one-on-one interview with Curt Hennig. Let's take a look at what the man who challenges for the title had to say earlier today. Curt, what a pleasant surprise it was for the fans of NWA TNA to see you make your return to professional wrestling 1 week ago right here on this program. Maybe we can do a little history lesson for some of the newer, younger fans.
Sure.
Talk about the original organization that you wrestled in, the AWA, the American Wrestling Association, another traditional wrestling company, much like the NWA.
Mike, you and I go way back, and there's no doubt about it. I mean, AWA was wrestling. I mean, when you saw professional wrestling on the outside of the building, the wrestling part, it was there. And I mean, the business has evolved a lot, and it's gotten a little mixed up in that. But AWA wrestling, that's where I became my first world champion, was AWA when I beat Nick Bockwinkel, and then also held the tag team championships there with Big Scott Hall.
And I guess no coincidence that every organization that you've been in through the years, World Wrestling Federation, Intercontinental Champion, WCW, United States Heavyweight Champion, you've always had the gold.
And no doubt about it. And you go back to AWA, that's where I learned my basis of wrestling. I say the word wrestling because I don't see the wrestling the way I would like to see wrestling, but I see it here in NWA.
First impressions that you had last week on your debut here at the TNA Asylum.
Well, the people here treated me, I mean, it was overwhelming the way the people reacted when I came out. It was a surprise to them, and I was a surprise to me on how the people did react, because there's an old saying in wrestling that people never forget.
Fast forward to tonight. You're the challenger. Ron the Truth Killings is your opponent, and this is your opportunity to become NWA World's Heavyweight Champion for the first time.
Wouldn't that be something? And let's get on Ron Killings. Now, this guy is out here, and he's a great wrestler. He's fast, he's strong, and he's been on top of this game for a while, and he holds the gold here. And I'm not taking anything away from him, but I guarantee you one thing, Mike. If I've had belts in every other territory, I don't see any reason why I can't have a belt here in NWA. I'm looking for the top of the list.
Curt, it's great to have you on board.
Mike, always take.
And it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the NWA World Heavyweight Title matchup. We're going to take a look at the tail of the tape, break down these two competitors, and as we look at Curt Hennig and the Truth Ron Killings, it's pretty obvious. Height, weight, and experience advantage all go to the challenger. Think about the question. This is the biggest test of the Truth's career. And when it comes to youth versus experience, we'll find out who will be served tonight with the NWA World title on the line. And let's go to Jeremy Borash.
The following contest is for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. About to the ring, from Charlotte, North Carolina, he is the current reigning and defending NWA Heavyweight Champion of the world. This is Ron the Truth Killings.
It has been over 2 months since Ron Killings pinned Ken Shamrock to win the NWA title. And since that history-making match, the Truth has successfully defended against Monty Brown, Jerry Lynn, and Low Key. And you'll notice that 2 of the 3 previous challengers were X-Division wrestlers. Killings recently on that personal rampage against the entire X-Division. No X-Division competitor tonight in Curt Hennig, that's for sure.
What time is it? It is time for the moment of truth.
That's for sure.
TNA officials, when are you going to show your punk ass faces? When are you going to draw a set of balls and stop hiding behind your damn title? I got a title and I sure as hell don't hide behind it either. Where are those responsible for making half-ass rulings and decisions around here? Do you actually think they're going to show their faces? I seriously doubt it. You know why? Because they all are a bunch of punk-ass cowards.
The champ giving it to
I was told by the board, whoever in the hell that is, that I would be able to give minority wrestlers who never get a chance, like I never got a chance, a shot at my NWA World title. How long did that last before the politics, the con games, and the bullshitnik came into effect. Not long at all, did it? And you know what else? Those same board members are walking around talking about Ron the Truth Killing is ducking the top contenders. Duck this, bummer clot. I don't duck nobody. Tonight, Kurt Hennig's blood is on your hands, not mine. That's right, Hennig. You see, you may be the king of backstage politics, but in this ring, I am the Shiznit. In this ring, I am the suntan Superman. You know, I'm not the one overrated. It's all of y'all mamas that's overrated. So Kurt Hennig, get your ass down here and let's see if those muscles can back up that damn mouth.
Time for the challenger. And Kurt Hennig has a microphone. Quite an auspicious debut last week.
Ho, ho, ho.
Here in NWA TNA.
Let's just get one thing straight. You're out here flapping your gums to everybody like you own the joint. Well, let me give you a little advice there. You ever heard the word respect, punk? Respect? Don't talk back to me, punk. I'll come there right now. In fact, I'm going to knock your ass off right now because I don't like you. No one here likes you. And as far as I'm concerned, you can kiss my ass. Oh, man.
And that comes from the challenger, Kurt Hennig. Remember, introduced as the mystery tag partner of B.G. James and Six-Pac in that six-man tag 1 week ago. He ended up stealing the spotlight by defeating the NWA champ, Ron the Truth Killings, with that namesake Hennigplex. And 7 days later, thanks to the NWA matchmakers, Kurt Hennig is challenging for the NWA World's Heavyweight title.
Well, let's see if Hennig can live up to his reputation.
Yeah,
21 years.
Let's see if Ron the Truth Killings, in facing his toughest, most experienced foe to date, it's exam time. Let's see if he passes. Let's see if he fails. I think this is the biggest name that Ron the Truth Killings has ever faced one-on-one.
Absolutely, but let's not forget that Hennig, yes, did get the pin on the Truth. But there was a little help by Mr. Wrestling 3 that came in there and jumped in and jumped down, and that was how Hennig got the shot. So, it's going to be one-on-one out there tonight, Mike.
Dealing out process again here in the opening going of this matchup.
Well, this is definitely a different style that Ron the Truth the Killings has seen to date. You know what I mean? Obviously, this is a style that he's not used to in an opponent. That's the size of Hennig and the experience of Hennig, Mike.
Go behind by Hennig. Into the front face lock. Opportunity now, I think, for Hennig here to gain a little respect from Ron the Truth Killings.
I'll tell you what I was thinking, though, Mike. Think of the controversy that would be if Hennig wins his championship. Here's a guy that's been in NWA TNA 2 weeks. Think of all the other greats that are going to be upset by that.
I just goes with the territory.
I know, but, you know, B.G. James, Jarrett, Brian Lawler, others have been waiting for that shot. And Hennig has a chance to become heavyweight champion tonight.
Sort of tough to argue, though, with the NWA matchmakers as we see the Truth roll out to the floor here in the early going. And, knife edge chop from Hennig was on target. When you consider, look out!
Oh, right here on the table. Absolutely. Mikey, you all right?
Yeah.
Whoa. Threw him right over, right here by us.
Hennig back body dropped right here into the broadcast.
Right here.
And now they over into the crowd right behind us. And now following up the Truth Ron Killings, unloading with a series of rights to the jaw of Hennig.
I'll tell you what. Look at, he gets the...
Yeah, that's the veteran's experience.
Oh, man.
Steel chair first to the gut, and then winds up and waffles him again across the back. Hazardous duty pay tonight for being out here.
I'll tell you what, buddy. But one good thing to say it, the table held up. That was 250 pounds slammed on it. I'll tell you something, they were feeling each other out at the beginning, Mike, but now it's on.
And Hennig, after assaulting Ron the Truth Killings, rolls him back into the ring because Hennig, the veteran, realizes you're not going to win the NWA title.
He did, I don't know, I swear he reached into his pants and pulled something out and threw it in Hennig's eyes.
What could that have been? You can see that it looks like it blinded Hennig, certainly momentarily has stopped that offensive assault.
Whoa!
Look at the wrestlers who've come out in the back up on the entrance ramp to watch this match.
There's Mortimer Plumtree with Ace Steel, AJ Styles, and Ron Harris watching the match from the ramp.
I think it just proves the importance of this contest.
What's the heavyweight championship?
Right, with the locker room coming out here.
It's the heavyweight championship, and it's right here on the line tonight.
Rake of the eyes that time by Killings. And Hennig, who was blinded by something that I think he went into his trunks to take something out.
Oh, it was obvious. He did it over, away from everybody. They couldn't see him, but I was walking right on it. He obviously pulled something out of the
cover.
face.
Two. Shoulder up by Hennig.
He's still pointing to the eyes, Mike.
He's still rubbing his eyes. Ron the Truth Killings, obviously using some sort of a shortcut here to turn the tide in this NWA World's title matchup. Shots to the jaw of Hennig. Kurt able to reverse him off into the corner, the float over. The flair of all these moves. Able to duck the clothesline and then come back with the leg attack.
We were talking about how difficult this would be for the Truth because he's not seeing anybody this size. It also goes the same with Kurt Hennig. He's not seeing anybody with this agility one-on-one in the ring. And nobody can deny the physical ability of Ron the Truth Killings.
Went for the scoop slam, and referee Scott Armstrong was nailed by the legs of Ron the Truth Killings. Hennig's going to change his strategy now. Going to try and take Killings up. What?
There's
that Mr. Wrestling 3 again.
And now he's on Kurt Hennig.
Third straight week that we've seen him come out here. One shot for Hennig, but then immediately turns his attention to the Truth.
What in the world is going on, Mike?
Ranger by the week.
I mean, obviously he didn't have a personal vendetta against the Truth because he's out there with Kurt Hennig now.
With the exchange, wrestlers from the back also.
Oh, here's BG
And Six-Pac as well.
They're pulling
as
him
Mr.
off.
Wrestling 3 bails out of the ring.
Oh, man. Now we've just got mayhem in the ring right now. AJ Styles, Ace Steel, Six-Pac, Rod Harris, BG James.
And it's all broken down, and there's no referee because Scott Armstrong is still down from being kicked by Killings.
All right, now what's going on out there in the middle of the ring, Mike? Hennig is down.
Here comes an NWA rep. I see Bob Armstrong. I see Bill Behrens. They're going to have to do something here to restore order. No one rang a bell. This match, I guess, is still on at this point, obviously.
Well, the Truth's down.
I've lost it. There's Hennig down.
He's down. Ace Steel out here. Ron Harris.
Confusion here at the TNA Asylum.
Oh, man, this is...
We gotta go.
Something here.
Yeah, Bob Armstrong laying down law and order. Head of security Don Harris in the ring.
He said he's going to restart it.
Yeah, Scott Armstrong says we're going to restart the match. We've cleared the ring.
He just called for a restart.
Wrestlers and NWA officials, managers.
It's back on between the Truth and Hennig right here. I'm the winner.
Yeah, Killings is telling the referee he should have his hand raised. Oh! And he just tossed Armstrong across the ring.
Now he's walking out. Restart the match. You ain't restarting the match.
The referee.
Obviously, he got Gary Moore out.
Ring announcer Jeremy Flores was just hit. Oh! He just hit NWA rep Armstrong.
He is going crazy. Hey, go get it. He feels the politics that's just taking over here, Mike.
And again, security out. Killings has got a chair.
Oh, he's just going nuts. He feels he has been fighting. He is just literally flipped.
Let me put it to you like this. You got two damn choices. You can get back in that ring and defend your title, or you can stand out here and get counted out and lose your title. I repeat, lose your title.
Whoa!
Hey, everybody, I don't give a damn which one you choose. Make a choice now.
They're counting him out.
The ball's in your court, Ron the Truth Killings. And referee Scott Armstrong in the ring is putting in the count. We're up to 4. We're at 5. We're running, almost running out of time here on NWA TNA.
It's surreal, Mike.
And no! Jeff Jarrett, low blow on Hennig. Nobody saw that. 1, 2, no! He won the title. We're running out of time.
This is crazy.
He keeps
The
the
winner
belt.
and still NWA Heavyweight Champion, The Truth.
Thanks to Jarrett. Jarrett with the low blow on Hennig. The referee didn't see it.
The Truth did. He stuck in there and got it.
Coming for you lame-ass redneck. Nashville, y'all better give me respect. I'm the one. Blow upside your mouth. I don't like none of y'all. How you like me now?
Oh, man.
All of y'all can kiss my big black
We're out of
shiny ass.
time here on NWA TNA.
Next week, it's going to be a madhouse.
We'll see you next Wednesday for more total non-stop action.